Hello there. Once again, this is Anton from Anton Will Bay, and I got to thinking, we're all probably dying to go comic book hunting, and that got me really thinking about the comics that I really spent time actually hunting. And I've noticed it usually starts with like a cover, and there's just like one cover you see, and then you're like, okay, because of that cover, I have to track down this whole series. And so that's what I'm going to show you off today. Some comics that when I had this cover, when I saw this cover, that immediately started a hunt. And after that, I started looking for that book. Whether it was in the bargain bins or actively looking online, it was a book I'm like, I have to get these. I'm going to start off with Red Fox, number 11, Valkyrie Press. This is actually a comic that I am still currently hunting for. Haven't completed the hunt. This issue here of Cinder and Nera, number 1. I had been familiar with Nera, but I hadn't heard of Cinder, and this is the first exposure to Cinder. And as soon as I saw this cover and saw this book, it was something where I was immediately, I have to go track these down. I have to have these copies of Cinder. It just, I don't know, something about it I just really liked. It spoke to me. All of the books that I have selected from here may have a theme. Anyway, Vanguard Illustrated, PC made a whole bunch of really great comic books that were just short-lived series, but it's one of those things that when I saw the cover of Vanguard Illustrated number 2, I knew I was going to track down and get all of the Vanguard Illustrateds I could. Same way with this. And you know how I saw a lot of these the first time was in the Overstreet price guides. I'd pick up like an old Overstreet price guide for little or nothing, and they would have all these pictures of the comics in there, and I'm just like, wow, that's a really cool cover. I've never heard of that book. And that's where I got the bloodlust, I guess, for some of these books. This is an Eclipse Comics Alien Encounters number 8. When I saw this, that was it. I needed the rest of them. I needed this one, and I needed all of them. It's just a thing. Like this cover, you got Marilyn Monroe, you got a nuclear explosion. I live in Alamogordo, the birthplace of the atomic bomb. Some of this stuff just instantly connects, and you have to have it. And not all of these are real recent. For instance, everybody who watches my channel probably knows I'm a big fan of the FemForce comics. Well, we got like a random FemForce comic back when we were like, I don't know, 14 or something like that. Back in the olden days in the 90s. And this was it. This was the cover. And it was just like, huh, you know what? That's weird. And I flipped through it, and that's the first one. That's the one that made me have to get all the rest of them. And that's what I'm trying to look at here. And some of these hunts were easy. Some of them took forever to locate. Tigress. This is... I had kind of heard of Flare, and I had never heard of Tigress, but I got this in a random lot of comics that I bought on eBay. It just was like independent stuff. And after this one, read it, I have to have the rest of these. That's what made me start hunting Flare. That's what made me start hunting Tigress. Yeah, it is what it is. It's just the comic that started a hunt. Cutie Bunny, this is an Eclipse Comics, Cutie Bunny number 5. It's an older book. It doesn't matter because the second I saw it, I see like a rabbit girl kind of cosplaying as Storm from the X-Men. I see some sort of badger, raccoon thing, and he's Cyclops. And it just instantly, I gotta have the rest of this series, like right now. Let's get on eBay and start hunting. And some of that, even on eBay, some of these books took forever to locate, to find at a reasonable price, to find a full collection, a full run of. This is Kyra, number 3, Elsewhere Press. This book actually showed up watching one of those big cartoonist kayfabe haul videos, and they came across a couple of these, and I was instantly like, well, I'm writing that one down. I got to go find those. And, you know, that's exactly what you have to do sometimes. Married with Children, I never knew that they made a comic. I've featured them in some of my videos at this point. But as soon as I saw that you could get Kelly Bundy on a comic book cover, I was just like, that's awesome. How come I don't have any of these? I started tracking these down, started adding them to my collection. They're from a strange company. They're called Now Comics. But that's the one. You see that one. And I saw this one in, where did I see this? It would have been another one of those Overstreet collection guides. I was just like, what? What? They actually made this? I gotta have this. This is like an old quarter bin find. This is Sam Slade, Robot Hunter from Quality Comics, issue number 26. The hokiness of the whole book. There's robots, there's fighters, and all this stuff. It just instantly, I got to track these down. I haven't collected all of these yet. Obviously not. They're very sketchy to find, but they're a book that I do look for now a lot. I look for this book to finish it out. Shuriken is another title that I learned about from the Cartoonist Kayfabe channel. They were showing one of their big haul videos of their weird junk that they find, and Shuriken, and I saw a couple issues of that, and that was it. I was like, I got to get the rest of the series. I got to track it down. Eternity stuff is really hard for me to find for some reason, so I've been working on getting them all tracked down. It's kind of on the back burner, but it's one that I'm always going to grab when I see it in a store, which so far has been never. Sultry Teenage Super Foxes, Solson Publishing. Hokiest title ever. It's ridiculous. But I had one issue that I got out of a random bin eons ago, and I'm going to back up slightly. There you go. Even though the series is only 2 issues long, it took me forever to find issue number 2. I looked on eBay a lot. I always looked in all the back bins. I looked through all the quarter bins. I didn't want to pay much for it. I would look through, even now, I looked through the dollar bins and stuff like that. Finally found issue number 2, and I finished out my Sultry Teenage Super Foxes comic run, and that's it. There was only 2 issues as far as I know, but it definitely started a hunt that probably took 10 years to get that second issue. Sounds kind of funny when you say it like that. The 10th, I've collected a lot of issues of the 10th. This is something I remember being advertised in Wizard. It is the 10th. It's number 8, but I can't remember what cover. There's like a bunch of variant covers from this line. But as soon as I saw this cover and I saw the like kind of scratchy Todd McFarlane looking art, but it's not Todd, I just wanted it. I just started tracking them down. It was just one of those things where I wanted to put that run together. I'm not there all the way, but I do have a bunch of issues of the 10th. It's been a good series for me. Another comic that I acquired out of a just random lot order thing. You know, sometimes you see comics for like 50 books for $15 and you buy it. This comic, it's from Radio Comics, Morning Glory, The Fairy. Issue number 4 was in there. I loved the book. It's not for everyone. It's definitely weird. Definitely kind of manga-y, but like not quite. It's a 1999 title, but this was easy a decade tracking these down. I would look for them, I'd forget about them, I'd look for them, and I finally saw the whole lot on eBay and had to pop on it. It was more than I wanted to pay. They were rather expensive to get, and they hold probably no value to anybody but me, but it was something that I had to track down. Oy. And that is the same story with this book here. This is called Lorelei, issue number 3. I can't even think of the comic book company that makes this. I cannot even remember. I think it's written in the top corner, but I can't even read it because it's all messed up. Anyway, this is a book that I got like 1 issue of, and that started the hunt. And I dug around. I ended up finding a couple in some dollar bins, but I could never finish out the series. I could never find the ones I needed. And finally, it sprung up on eBay. And I was able to pick up the whole series for very little, which I love it when I can find a rare series for very little. A lot of times the rare series, people want like stupid money for, and it's a pain. But anyway, that's pretty much it for right now. This is what I got. These are just comics. I was going through and I was thinking, gosh, I really want to go comic hunting, but I don't really know what I want to buy. And I kept coming across this box of all my conquered titles and some that I haven't conquered, but I really want to. And these are just bizarre titles that I just saw just one issue of, and that made me have to buy the rest, and just started at like a fervor hunt to get these all tracked down. Anyway, that's my story. Hope you guys are doing well. Hopefully we can all get back to comic book shopping soon. Anyway, that's my story, and I will catch you guys later.